let's see what's in the bag. Armory Disc Golfers, my name is Nick, and together with Dustin, I have the privilege of running Armory Disc Golf. And one of the great perks of that is that more so than your typical disc golfer, I get to see, touch, feel, test just about every single disc in disc golf. And I think that gives us a unique perspective on what discs to actually put in your bag. I carry 20 discs. We're at a 21-hole layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you each disc one by one, and I'm not going to throw any of these discs twice until I've thrown them all on a legitimate shot, whatever that may be. So I think this will be fun. I'm trying not to pre-plan this out too much. Just going to throw, see what situations we can get ourselves into, and show you what I think is the best iteration of my bag that I've ever had. Hole 1, 684-foot par 4. We're throwing an Orbit Enforcer. This has actually gotten beat in a little bit, and you'll see with a lot of my bag, I have forehand discs and backhand discs, because I'm pretty 50-50 on forehand, backhand. This is my comfortable, stable, but not really overstable anymore, just forehand driver. Gonna try to play this one off the pavement here. Stop. That's fine. That's obviously why you want to go a little wider. We are currently 376 to that yellow tree, so probably like 400. That distance doesn't make a ton of sense to me, to be honest, but I am going to trust it and throw Proton Trail. This is a straight guide distance driver. Did a full review on this and I love it. I plan on throwing it backhand over the OB, trusting it on Anheuser to hold over. Well, that should have been a much more overstable disc. Good news is it's an easy up and down for there. This makes me a little sad. I mean, you saw what the Proton Trail does. It holds whatever angle you put it on. We won't be able to see that guy until later in the video. A couple things to yap about. I wanted to say about the Enforcer. I mentioned briefly that it's more of a forehand disc. It's shallower than something like a Destroyer or something in that slot. Hint, hint. So I prefer it for forehands. I will backhand it every now and then, but I prefer this to forehands, and I'm surprised that I don't see more people throwing it because, like I said, I think that it's really comfortable for that. We are also burning through drivers because I have 6 of them, and hole 2, 350-foot long turnover, requires my understable driver, which is a beat-up Star Wraith. That is out of bounds. Well, we are currently off to a blistering start, and it's time to burn through our first approach disc of the day, which this year, for the first time in many years, is not a pig. It's a zone. For the first time in the 10 years that I've been playing disc golf, I've finally gone to a zone. I finally saw the light, and I have some discs that complement it very well that I think make it make sense. That's a good solid first C1 putt of the day. Hole 3 is 330 feet straight and then finishing right, which is perfect for not just a fire chicken, Dr. Fire Chicken. This has been my go-to champ Firebird, perfectly seasoned in, nice and straight for a Firebird. And it's my go-to for shots like this that I want to go straight and then fade at about 330. That's why it's in the bag. Oh gosh. We'll wait to show you what the putter is. Hole 4, 336 feet. We've got a Mando right, and I think this is a good time. I would normally throw Dr. Fire Chicken here, but it's a good time to show you the balance. I said that I have forehand and backhand discs. This is typically a backhand disc, but this pairs with another disc in my bag that I'm going to show you pretty soon, I'm sure. And I really like the balance, both forehand and backhand, because compared to the other disc that's in my bag, it has that little extra push for forehand. So every now and then there's times that I want something in between Firebird and zone, and the balance can fit that bill. They're surprisingly stable on forehand. Oof! Like I said, nice and stable. Well, I just did the balance dirty. If that was like a foot or two higher, I think it catches edge and does a nice skip off the grass there. So that'll be one of the ones that I'll get back to as soon as I can once I get through the whole bag, because I think that it is like the best stable to overstable mid in the game right now. That's why I bag it, and I want to show you that. But that's just the first of what's probably going to be several shots thrown with a suboptimal disc because of the little challenge we're doing. This is a straight 230-foot shot, double mando, and we are throwing the beloved mint disc bullet. I've also done a review video on this one, and I still love the bullet just like I loved it back then. Beat it. Well, I showed you the beginning of why I liked the bullet for about 100, 150 feet there. Just super point and shoot, similar to like a Proxy or a Luna, something like that. Just take your pick. This one is actually special to me because this is one of one. We got this Alan Jansen Alpha stamp that was on Alphas, and I got one of them on a bullet. So thank you to Mint for doing that for me. It is special to me. This is me continuing to throw jump putts so I don't have to use an approach disc, so I can save them for legitimate shots.
I think you need the island.
I'm literally standing there thinking, all right, it's time to show my putter. I've already made a couple 20, 25 footers, knocked down another one. It'd be a perfect segue into that. And so of course I missed it. But same putter that I've been using for like 6 or 7 years now, and the same putter that I believe is the best in the game, Prodigy PA3. They are stable, they are low glide, so in Texas wind, it's really helpful. I want to know where my putter is going as soon as it leaves my hand. PA3s are reliable. They've been getting the job done for me, more or less, and they'll continue to do that into 2026. Hole 6, 240, 250 forehand that you need to go right. Go with a Prodigy A2. I think this is the best overstable forehand approach disc in the game. I think it complements the zone really well as like the overstable option. The A2 I think pushes but still bites really hard. Man, this is my first time seeing this layout. I did not realize that there was just absolute jail back here, but there is a sort of a window, and hopefully I can redeem the PA3 a little bit here. Let's go. Thanks. Obviously, you hoping in the bags that you show off your discs, but maybe this is like a more realistic look at them, and we'll turn it around right here. That was a good putt to get us going. 320, 333 feet dead straight. Got to go with the streak. The Climo streak, I think, is one of the most underrated fairways in disc golf because it goes straight. Like, not straight as in understable straight, just straight. Straight. And I absolutely love it. Ah! I went all the way down this hill. That's tough. Ah. Let's go. When you need to go 320 feet dead straight with a little drift to it, a hex is a great call. This is Prism Proton from last year's OTB run, and it is starting to get beat in a little bit. It's just a great point and shoot. This is like probably right around the max distance that I would throw it for. Again, Dr. Fire Chicken would see a lot of action at this course normally, but I think this will work well. Get up just a bit. Get up. Yes. Yes. Hex yeah. I'm pretty happy with how I've been throwing the disc the last couple holes. I just need to knock down some putts and get back on track. Come on. Ah! Dang it. We're almost through the entire bag, which is exciting because I'd love to wrap back around and show y'all some of these again. In the distance driver slot, we have a Cloud Breaker. Also did a review on this, said that I loved it. Wasn't kidding. Still in the bag. It is beat up now, and it is taking that like neutral destroyer slot. So this is my max distance backhand disc on like calm conditions or whatever. It'll stand up and drift a little bit. Wants to come back at the end. If I put it on Anheuser, it'll hold it forever, and I'm about to just try to punch it down a wooded tunnel here. Come on, come on. Yeah, like I said, put it on Anheuser and it wants to hold it. I think that it drifted back a little bit there at the end, which would be really nice. I did come left just at the very end, which is great. And it's also a great time to show the complement to the balance I was talking about earlier, which right now is a lab second. Prism Neutron Pyro, which I prefer to throw on forehands. Like I said, it has a little less push than the balance. And most of the time this does actually fill that slot in between Zone and Firebird. I like it. Oh, I like that though. That's good. Pyro, great overstable mid, specifically for forehands. You can throw it both ways, but I like it forehands. Story of my
year has been that I've been throwing the disc well, and I've not been putting well. But that has turned around last couple months, and it will continue to be turned around right here. Let's go. 500-ish foot par 4, a disc that I have absolutely fallen in love with, not necessarily 4 shots like this, is the S-Line PD. Straight line PD. This is my backhand version of Dr. Fire Chicken. I can throw it on anhyzer and it'll hold a long time before gently coming out. It'll hold hyzer the whole way, or I can throw it hard and flat and it'll stay straight for a long time before gently fading at the end. Yep, now come out just gently at the end. Oh, center of the fairway. You'll love to see it. I think it's time for the Zone SS. Again, wonderful compliment to the Zone because it's the super straight version of it. So when I want it to go straight instead of having that nice reliable Zone fade, this is what you go to. Drags over. I have been absolutely loving, stop doing that, loving this disc. Let's go. Birdies, birdies. Maybe I did plan this out because this is a 312 foot, slightly turning left to right shot, perfect for the Innova Fox. This is my favorite understable mid-range right now. It's got like a fairway driver feel. The star plastic on these came out incredible, and it's reliably understable. So I can throw it on hyzer and know that it's gonna pop up and drift. Drat. I said that and I didn't trust it. Got to put it on more hyzer and that's great. I think that we're far enough for this to be a legitimate shot because it's something that I like to do with this disc legitimately. It is the BergX. It is K1 Soft, and in my experience, the K1 Soft is like between a Berg and a BergX, and it goes very, very, very stubbornly straight with a little bit of stability, so I don't have to worry about it like turning over. The regular Berg, I got worried about it turning over, and this just sits down as soon as it comes out of my hand. Believe it or not, that was a run. But you can give like legitimate runs and not worry about just screaming past the basket. We are down to our final 4 discs, and the one that's getting the call here on like a 340, 350 foot, what's going to be backhand turnover, is the Streamline Shift. This is my roller disc and my, I want to low power hyzer shot through the woods, have it stand up and drift right. It's a longer version of the Fox, and this is a longer version of that last hole we just played, so it fits. Flippy guy, never coming out of that. Man. And going a mile. The shift will fly a long, long way if you're in that like 270 to 350 like range for your max distance. That might be your disc. You gotta love a disc that accidentally goes 400 feet. Maybe it's my max distance driver as well. I almost made the short one. All right, maybe I was planning this out beforehand and I just didn't realize it, because this is a pretty full distance forehand and I am holding a Halo S-Line Emperor. This is Bonanza run, whatever run that is, and they came out pretty stable. This is 168. I can hit this hard on anhyzer and I know it's gonna push and then come out. It's actually a tick above the Enforcer in terms of stability. It's my go-to like overstable backhand driver, and I'll throw it forehand as well if I just can't quite trust the Enforcer because that'll stay straight a little too long, but I still need more distance than what another disc might be able to give me. Woo! Nice and stable. I'm like 170 out from the basket, which is probably a little too close for this. No, I actually see it being defensible because I'm chopped off. I'm gonna have to chop over on the Meridian Discs Vale 9304. This is the overstable Firebird slot in my bag, like really overstable Captain's Raptor or Splice type disc. I can reliably hit this thing hard on anhyzer and know that it's gonna come out and go right. Get over there. Yeah. No, actually that ended up being a fantastic disc choice for that spot. Like I said, I'm planning all these out ahead of time and just pretending like I don't know what disc I'm going to be throwing on the next hole. And the final disc in my bag, also max weight, is the S-Line PD2. I joked earlier that S-Line is straight line. PD2s are still PD2s. I tried the Gravity Bomb. They just don't fly. So this is reliably overstable, just a step above the Emperor that I just threw in terms of stability. And I have more drivers in my bag right now than I normally have because different discs are getting beat in and whatnot. I actually really like the steps that I have. They all make sense to me. I'll throw this forehand and backhand. Right here, I need it to hyzer at about 360-ish. So I'm not gonna throw it super hard and just trust that it's gonna come back in. I like that. Ooh, I actually think that I missed that first Mando. I'll see when I get up there. I just talked about how overstable this thing is and how I have to throw the Emperor if I want it to go farther. And then I immediately disrespected it and said that I needed to take some off of it. And now I'm gonna have to do something wild because this is gonna be tricky. Didn't miss the Mando. Nice windy day. Once again, want to make sure it goes right on a forehand approach. Go to the A2. And throw it way too far right. After an inspirational hole of disc golf, we are open bag looking at like 260-ish feet. So I'm gonna go with the balance, throw it down on the right side, nice and hard, and trust that it's gonna hook back in. This is one of the discs that I needed to redeem, so I wanna show it to y'all again. Nice and stable, catch edge, hit something. And this is typically more the shot that I will use for the balance, is those stable backhand shots. Like I said, it complements the Pyro really well, backhand, forehand there. That's a good feeling putt. We've got 380, 390 foot, kind of low ceiling. I'm going back to the Cloudbreaker because I want you to see it on like a full open field shot. Last time I was trying to like throw it like a fairway driver, how I'd throw a trail in the woods or something. This might be a little too understable for what I actually want on this hole, but I'm gonna put it out on some hyzer, trust that it stands up, and then hopefully comes back just a little bit at the end. Yeah, lots of flip up on it. I like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what I'm at. I got a couple birdies. I think I'm like a couple under. Not the greatest round that I've ever thrown, but I've enjoyed getting to throw all of my discs today, so that's good. Really, I just need to make more putts. This player 2 guy's got something going on. The trail earlier was used as kind of like an approach shot, so I want to drive with it. It might be a little more understable than what I would really want here, but I'm gonna try to go left to right on the tee pad, get it to hyzer flip, and then trust the wind to push it back in. An absolute laser beam of a disc. I mean, that's what I want the trail to do. Like I said, not my first option for a hole like this, but that's what trails do. They go straight. Inbounds was not saved by anything other than sheer skill. Drift. I don't hate that run. Final hole, this one is a beast. Headwind, I need a distance driver that I can push out, get distance, and rely on its stability. And that's where the Halo S-Line Emperor comes in perfectly. I like that a lot. This is a fantastic position, and I should just pick it up and throw it again. But I want to throw the PD on a more normal line instead of like rope through the woods or whatever. So I want to show that it can hold stability as well. It means I'm gonna have to throw it hard because I think I'm like 380 from the basket. And I'm gonna foot fault because the camera is in line with where I want to be right now. I love the PD. Go. Yeah, I mean, it's a little short of where I'd want it to be because it's a PD, not a full-on, you know, destroyer or something. But that is the stability that I love out of the thing. And also, if you're still here, I do think that I need to mention destroyer's not in my bag. The Cloudbreaker is essentially a destroyer. The Emperor is like really essentially a destroyer. And I just found some 2 cool discs that I like. I still have Star Destroyers back up, ready to roll whenever these guys, you know, go to meet their forefathers in a creek or a pond or something somewhere. I do still think overall the Destroyer is the best distance driver mold. I'm just using clones right now instead of that actual disc. Other than that though, I really believe the setup that I have is pretty perfect. Like, it covers forehands, backhands, almost every single bit of stability over almost every single speed. I think the only thing that I'm really lacking right now is a true understable distance driver, because like I said, I have a really beat up Wraith. Other than that, I've really been enjoying my bag. I hope that you did too. Thanks for watching. If you have made it to this point of the video, I would love if you liked and subscribed. Check out future content. And having said all that, I am actually pin high. So one more point for the PD. I specifically love the way that it feels backhand, feels super locked in. But enough yapping, make a putt. And I'll see you in the next one.